Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm doing kind of a different type of brand video. I've decided, since a lot of us are getting into yard sales now, but these things you can find at thrift stores also, I thought I would pick some characters. I love selling character plush. They come in a wide variety of brands, but a lot of these you're going to be able to find at yard sales. So I thought this would be a different thing. I picked 4 different characters. I picked Super Y, which I've actually never showed you guys any of them before because I haven't found them in a very long time. But I found them a couple of times and they are a major bolo. Then I chose Backyardigans, Wow Wow Wubbzy. I talk about those 2 a lot. And then Blaze and the Monster Machine. I just thought I'd show you a variety of things, what they're currently selling for, and then if you run across them at yard sales, definitely you'll know to at least check the comps on them, because not everything is a bolo, right? How I do this is I go into eBay search. I base everything on the last 90 days of solds on eBay only, and then I filter by used and solds, and then I sort by the highest price, and then I just come up with this sampling of things to share with you. Now I also try to do my due diligence by going into Terapeak, making sure that I have the actual price, because we all know a lot of times best offers get taken. It sells at a different price that's actually being shown on the screen. So I go into Terapeak, double check the price. Make sure that I go in and check for feedback on that listing, see if positive feedback was left. Then we know for sure that it was a good sale. But if not, I still share them, but I tell you the ones that had positive feedback. But it also gives me an opportunity to go into their store also to make sure it wasn't relisted. I had a couple of those today. It ended for whatever reason, probably non-payment, and then it was relisted. So that's nothing I'm going to share because it wasn't a legit sell. But I just thought this would be something different. I love doing my brands, but I want, especially some of these more obscure toys, for people to, get familiarized with them. And I'm going to keep adding the brands and then the character toys, I think, in throughout. Sprinkle them in. How about that? Amongst my hauls and my solds. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to start with Super Y. There's not a lot out there, and that's why when you find them, they're usually really good to look for. Now, this was a set of 3 plush. Wyatt, Red, and Alpha Pig. I have only found a couple of these before. These 3 sold for $45, and the seller was left positive feedback. And then there's this wand. It's called the Super Y Princess Presto Wave and Learn Magic Spell. I've never seen this one before. It sold for $49.99. If you don't see any of the red writing up on the screen that says positive feedback plus FB, then there was no feedback left. There are very few of these toys though. I'm always on the lookout, especially at the bins. Now this was a set of 5 DVDs. Still do really well because, like, again, I don't think it lasted very long. These 5 DVDs used $54.99. Is a Super Y Wyatt's Talking Rider Wand. It sold for $75. Puzzles. Definitely keep your eyes out for puzzles. A lot of times I don't go through the kids' puzzles, but I need to, because I've got, I think, another example of one of the other toys that the puzzle sold for a decent profit. This one was the Storybook Village, 24 pieces. It sold for $81. And then I've had this before. This is a Touch and Learn super duper computer laptop. It's kind of a learning game. It sold for $89.99 and positive feedback was left. And then this, I have found these a couple of times. Yeah, I think I've had all of them. This is Super Y, the action figures, just little figures. I forget all of their names, but there's Princess. Super Y is the green, and then the pig, and then the other little girl. These 4 characters sold for $110. And then this. I have had these, I think, twice. And then I have found pieces, ones. But I have found the sets twice. I'm always looking for these. These are called the Super Y Flyers. It's Wyatt, the pig, Princess, Presto, and Red. Oh yeah, the other girl's name was Red. These 4 sold for $129.99. And they're just little plastic figures. Cars with little rolling wheels. The figures do not come out of the planes or the vehicles. All right, so that is all of the Super Ys. I tried to just give you a variety of different ones. Now, if you have, 1s or 2s or 3s of them, still get them listed. A lot of times you can list these as replacements also. Backyardigans. Love them. This one is Tasha as Eraser Girl. I think a lot of times when you find the plush and they're dressed as another character, those do really well. It's like the off characters. This, I guess Eraser Girl was the supervillain. This is from 2009. Tasha sold for $34.85. This is Tyrone plush. He's a large, like one of the pillow type size, 26 inches. He sold for $34.99. Now this is the Circus. I have had it a couple of times, but it's huge. And now that we're dealing with dimensional, I'm not sure if I would pick it up. But, if it had the figures, then I'd go ahead and pick it up for the figures because I do have a separate listing that was just for the figures. But a lot of the pieces and parts could be sold as replacements. This was the Circus with 12 figures, the cannonball and the seesaw, sold on auction for $46. I think if that was personally mine, I probably would have listed it probably for about $80 to $100 and skipped the auction. All right, this is Fisher Price, some of the plush. I just listed Uniqua, the pirate girl, but this was Penguin Pablo and the pirate. I guess they're both talking. I've not had that particular penguin, but these 2 together sold for $49.95. I think I just listed Uniqua probably for about half that price. So, I would have probably split these up. All right, this is Backyardigans Sing and Spin Pablo. He's kind of got a rigid, he's motorized inside. I've had him a couple of times back when I don't think they were selling for this much, but definitely would be something I'm looking for now. Again, I'm going to try to start bringing screwdrivers and batteries to tech stuff because I don't have a good record on buying animated plush that actually works. So this year I'm going to do better. I'm going to have some kind of bag in my car, I think. This particular Pablo sold for $50. This is Uniqua Sweet Dreams. She lights up and is singing plush by Fisher Price, sold for $59.99. And then these are the bobbleheads from the Circus. This was a set of 8 of them, and they sold for $60 best offer. So definitely would have been better to split it up or definitely make your price higher if you have the Circus. This is the Sing Along Music Maker. I think I've had this only one time. This one sold for $65. And then the tie beanies. Definitely. There was a time I found these all the time and list them and sell them for, you know, $8, $9, $10. And now they've come to a point now where they're getting more rare, which means you can raise your price and ask for more. This set of 5 sold for $120. All right, then next set is Wow Wow Wubbzy. We'll start with the figures. I have found these a couple of times in small lots, so definitely keep your eyes out for these. This would be something definitely you would find like in the bins or at yard sales, just thrown in with a whole bunch of other stuff. There were larger lots of these, but I decided this had the nicer picture. These 4 sold for $24.50, and there was positive feedback left. They're not very big, and they stack. They're very intriguing. I've had her before. I think the one I had was Fisher Price. I'm not sure if this one is Fisher Price, but her name is Daisy. She's a little bit harder to find. This particular one sold for $42. Again, she's one of the off characters, and a lot of times those seem to do better. Puzzle. This is a 24-piece Wow Wow Wubbzy skating puzzle. Sold for $39.99. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes out for these. This is the animated one of these. This is from 2007. He's got a posable tail and he is musical. I have found him a couple of times, but I think when I find him, again, not working, but definitely keep your eyes out for him. But the tail is like jointed. This one sold for $49.99. And then this is just a regular plush from 2008, Nick Jr. It sold for $50. And then these are the tie beanies. Again, these 3, which isn't the complete set, sold for $55 with positive feedback. Here's the Fisher Price ones. I showed you, I think the girl, Daisy, I had was Fisher Price. And again, she gets more. But here's 3 of them that sold for $55 again. And then this must be the grail of Wow Wow Wubbzy. I've never seen this, but it's a bilingual treehouse laptop toy. This particular toy sold for $99.99. All right, and then Blaze. Now Blaze, I tried to focus in on some of the individual cars that tend to do better than some of the others. Of course, it is not all of them. I think I started in the like $30, but I am going to show you a couple of lots just so that if you come across a large lot, definitely worth, checking your comps, but probably pick them up. All right, this is the Elephant from 2014. A lot of these are die cast. I have had a couple of the Blaze cars that were plastic, but a lot of times they're die cast. This one sold for $39.97. And then I've had Starla before. And there's lots of different versions of each of these characters, but for the most part, most of the Starlas are going to be harder to find and higher priced. This one, again, is die cast 2014. It sold for $32.99. I've never seen this one. It would have definitely caught my eye, but I don't know if I would have known that it was Blaze and the Monster Machine. I guess his name is Monster Morpher Darrington. And I guess the legs are posable. Very interesting. This one sold for $35 on auction. And then this is Cowboy Bumperman from 2014. He sold for $38.50. These are the Mega Blocks. I tend to pick up Mega Block sets when they are different characters. I've done Dora and just different ones. They still seem to do okay. This is just a larger lot of the Mega Blocks building sets for Blazing the Monster Machine. It sold for $34.95. But that's definitely something you could find at a yard sale. Probably $3, $4 around here. That's what they would probably have on it. So, and then this is a transforming remote control car. I have not seen this before. It seems to be big because here's somebody's hand. So it is larger, has, you know, a remote control. It sold for $50. And then this was just another intriguing set. Like I said, there's lots of the same vehicles, but in different series. These were called Jousting Knights Crushers. These two vehicles sold for $55. It says Cowboy Green Truck with Tan Hat. I'm assuming he has a name, but they didn't put it on here. He sold for $66.49. Now, these are just individual. I think the last couple of ones are going to be lots. This is, I guess, probably almost like the holy grail of these vehicles. This was Pink Robot Rider. The one, there were different ones. This one has the big yellow wheels. She sold for $69.99. Right, these last two are lots. There were tons of lots. So if you stop at a yard sale and there's a tote full of them, probably need to buy them. But these must be some of the rarest ones because this is a set of 5. It doesn't tell me the year or anything, but these 5 sold for $120, and that wasn't the only set of these 5 that sold for $120. So definitely, I'm wondering if maybe there's some of the original ones. Let's scroll down here real quick. Don't know. Not sure why these are so high just for the 5. And then I picked this one because these are 89 of them, and it says there's no duplicates. There's a lot of them that are, you can see that they're the same vehicle. They've probably just got different wheels, different costumes on, different outfits, anything like that. But this whole set of 89 cars sold for $375. But I'm going to turn this off so that we can do some close-ups on just the variety that's in here. But look, here, click on that picture. There's these animals. I've had this mummy-looking one before. These red ones are all Blaze. He's the main character, of course. I've had lots of these green ones before. And then you can see there's quite a few that have hats on. And then I've never seen the white cars. But you can see there's several of the pinks. And I hardly see any of the Starlas. Oh, I think right there in the front. But yeah, just a large, large lot. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to try to put more of these videos out. I say that and then just life gets busy and I don't get to these videos because they're a little bit more work to get put together. But I enjoy them. And this is a reminder for myself that, you know, especially if I find some of these different ones, to remember to pick them up. But, you know, I hope that these are educational and you guys are finding them interesting. I love when I get the comments that somebody's watched this video and then that week they go out sourcing and they find something that I talked about. So let's get out there and find them so we can share, right? And save them because a lot of these are getting older, even getting towards vintage. So, yep, gotta save them. All right, it's lunchtime. It's time to then we'll get to work, right? Bye.